Hey guys, how's it going? This is James from Butler Farms, and just gonna sit down and do a quick chat with you. I don't know that it would necessarily be called a table talk. Got so much going on inside the house that couldn't really find a quiet place to do it, so we'll just call it a shop bench talk, or I guess it could be called a shop table, but that's where I am. I'm up in my shop and just taking a few minutes while it's quiet here to come to you and talk to you about something that I've been asked about a couple of different times. It's Columbus Day, and for most people that doesn't mean a lot, but for me it means I've had the day off, and because of that I've been able to get a lot done around here, and still got a little bit to do before we lose the rest of our sunlight here. Been a beautiful day. Really enjoying being able to get out and get some work done, and still cleaning up the garden area, still cleaning up around the yard, just things that needed to be done that I just haven't had time to get to. But that being said, I do want to answer a question that I get asked a lot. I know more and more people are subscribing and more people are watching these videos, and one thing that I get asked on a regular basis is who do I look to? Who do I watch? Where do I go to get my information, and what do I enjoy being able to see and read and those kind of things? And so I thought I'd just answer that question and just bring you up to speed on that. So first and foremost, I read a lot. That is my hobby. When I'm not outside working, when I'm not gardening and those kind of things, I'm generally reading about it. Now I read a wide array of things. I have a daily Bible reading time, and that takes priority over everything else. But when I do have some spare time, I'm not a big TV watcher. When I do finally shut it down for the day and get cleaned up and start to get ready to go to bed to be able to start my next day, I generally read. And so I have shelves and shelves and shelves of books that I look to and reference, and just enjoy reading. Some of them I've read multiple times, and still get something out of them every single time. I find these, we have a really good public library here in this area, and attached to that public library is something called Friends of the Library, and this is where people donate used books, and I swing by there every once in a while and go through the gardening section, and I've picked up a bunch of really good gardening books over the years, different kinds, whether it's fruits, vegetables, herbs, soil preparation, just a lot of different things like that. And so I've got my own little library going, and like I said, I've read almost all of them. I still got a few to go, and some of them I've read more than once, so that's one of my sources. I also subscribe to a lot of different magazines. I get Mother Earth News. I have been getting Hobby Farms. I'm probably going to drop that one. There's a lot in that one that really is not relevant to me anymore. I don't know what happened with that, but it seems to kind of be going away from what I'm interested in, and that's fine. I'll just get my information elsewhere. I also subscribe to Grit magazine. That's an old one that's been around for a long time. Got a lot of good information in it. I subscribe to Self-Reliance and Backwoods Home magazines. Now these aren't as well known, but as far as what I'm trying to do here and what I like to do and what I'm interested to do in doing, these two are not as glossy. They're not as I guess you would say fancy as the Mother Earth News and those kind of things, but as far as the articles go and the depth of information and just the practicality of it, being able to use what I'm reading, Self-Reliance and Backwoods Home is, I'm so pleased with them and so glad I found them. So reading is one of the biggest things that I do, whether it be out of my library, whether it be publications that I get, but you know, I'm here on YouTube, and I get a lot of my information from other YouTubers, and I try things that they try. I do things that they suggest. It doesn't always work. It's I try to watch people that have similar areas as me. I do watch some as far on a regular basis as far as north as the Carolinas and as far south as Louisiana. But I also watch some from Michigan and places like that. I like to see what other people are doing, and I get a ton of information from them. And these are the kind of people that I like to talk to. I like to be around. They have common interests. They are doing things very similar to what I'm trying to do and trying to build here. So I'm just going to take a minute and share a couple of those with you. One of my go-tos is Danny and Wanda at Deep South Homestead. Now, Wanda also has her own channel with Crazy Days, and I get a lot from that as well. But Danny King down at Deep South Homestead is, he's kind of my go-to. He lives in South Mississippi, and he is full of knowledge, but he also doesn't sugarcoat it, and I appreciate that about him. If it's something that doesn't work, he says it didn't work, and he shows you why he thinks it didn't work, and if he's willing to try it again, what he's going to do differently, and if he's not, if he's just going to scrap the whole idea, then he'll tell you that as well. So, and then Miss Wanda, she's right there with him. A lot of good ideas there, but she also, not only on Deep South Homestead, but also on her channel on Crazy Days, she has a lot of food preservation, canning and that kind of thing. Now, they have been doing a lot of freeze drying lately. That's something that I hope to get into in the future. I don't know if any of you have priced a freeze dryer, but they're a little bit out of our budget right now. But at some point, I would love to get one of the Harvest Right freeze dryers and do that as well. I think that's something that would benefit my family and another way to preserve. It seems to be a lot less labor intensive than canning, but I have watched Miss Wanda in her canning videos for years now, and I get so much information from them, and they are such an inspiration to me. Another one that I have found is Billy from Permapastures Farm. Now, Permapastures Farm is up in North Carolina, and Billy he kind of has a mindset like I do. He wants to make sure that everything that he is putting on his land and he's doing with his land comes from his land. He is a proponent of permaculture, and he is passionate about it. He will tell you that in the videos, and I have learned a ton from him. He's up and coming in that area, and it's gaining recognition as being an expert in that area, and I appreciate what he does. I appreciate what he stands for, and I appreciate the knowledge that he gives me. Even some that I surf through every once in a while. I enjoy 1870s Homestead. They're out of Michigan, and I know that their growing seasons are different. Their environment is different than what we have down here in central Alabama, but there's so much good information on there. They also do a lot of food preservation and canning and those kind of things, and so I get a ton of information from them too, and I know I'm leaving so many out that have been influential to me, and there's a huge benefit to watching their videos. I do want to say though that there are some that I've had to kind of walk away from. I think if you're interested in this kind of lifestyle, if you're interested in becoming more self-reliant as far as what you're feeding your family and being able to take care of your family, again, not in a prepper sort of way, but just because I enjoy raising and food for my own family and knowing what's on it, knowing what's in it. And at some point, animals are in the future for us as well. And so we'll move from vegetables and fruits to also having livestock. And that's coming in the near future, especially as my regular career starts winding down. I'll have more and more time for that. But I do want to warn you that there's a lot of them out there that They are very polished. They are very good at producing videos. But as far as what you're actually able to glean from them, I mean, they're enjoyable. They're okay to watch, but they have gotten to the point where they are so big that I don't get anything out of them anymore. One of the biggest homesteaders around on YouTube, I watched he and his family for years and years and years, and I will go check it out every once in a while, but I rarely watch his stuff anymore, simply because he's gotten so big that it's just not. And I'm proud for him. Like I said, I followed him for years, and I think he's genuine in what he's doing. But he's gotten so large and sponsored and those kind of things that what he's doing is on a much bigger and much grander scale than what I can do here, especially at this time. I'm not at that level. I don't know that I'll ever be at that level. And so being able to replicate what he's doing is impossible, simply because I don't have the sponsors that are giving me the poultry netting, for instance, and a tractor sponsor, and all the other things that he's doing. And again, I'm proud for him. I'm glad he's reached that point. Another one is a couple that I watched from the very beginning of their YouTube life in Missouri, and I have gotten so much information from them over the years, and gotten so much good information that I could use and put to practice. But again, as they started to grow and as they started to expand and their viewership got bigger, that opened up more opportunities for them. I applaud that. It's I believe in being able to better yourself, and they've done that. So I'm not finding fault with that. It's just that their experiences, what they're doing on their farm, being able to buy extra property from the proceeds of what they're doing, and being able to be sponsored by all of these different companies that send them, they send them equipment, and they send them different. You get the idea. They've been able to go past what is actually useful for me. And even here in Alabama, there's a couple that I watched as they got their start, and they have grown and grown and grown, and they have left the little homestead they were on and have bought a much bigger piece of property, and it's afforded them to be able to build a lot of brand new outbuildings and brand new equipment. And again, that's great. I have to kind of it's actually kind of sad, because I've been with these people for so long that I kind of hate not to watch their stuff. But with the time restraints that I have to kind of put my focus on areas where I can get the most bang for my buck, and stuff that I can actually use, stuff that I can actually put in practice here, and not faulting them at all. I think they're great people. I would love to meet them one day. Matter of fact, the one that I mentioned first, I plan to go to a conference next year in which he is going to be a speaker, and I will make sure that I am in attendance for that talk that he does, because I believe that there's information there that I can use. But I've got a very small group that I watch pretty much every time they put out a video. And again, that's people like Danny and Wanda at Deep South Homestead. That's people like Billy at Perma Pastures Farm. That's like the couple from 1870s Homestead. And like I should have written some more of them down, because there's so many more that I'm forgetting about. But anyway, so that kind of gives you an idea of where I get my information from. I stay off of a lot of internet sites, simply because I want to see what the people are doing. I don't want to just be sold something in just about every gardening or internet site that I go to. At some point, it turns into a promotion to buy a product or to subscribe to something that that I just don't feel the need to do that. So I kind of stay off the internet as far as different sites go, but I do watch YouTube, I watch other YouTubers, and I read. And when I think I've got it, I turn around and read it again and get something completely different out of it. So I think that answers the question of who do I look to, where do I get my information from, and you know, I'm sure that'll change again as time goes on. I'm hoping that these people that I've gotten accustomed to will keep putting out quality videos and stuff that I can use and stuff that I can put into practice here. I know they believe what I believe. I know that they maybe on a bigger scale, but they do practice what I practice, and you know, I also know where they stand with their faith and what they believe about life and living it for the right purposes. So those are the kind of people I can support, the ones that are bold enough to not only show me gardening and show me homesteading and that part of their life, but also share what they truly believe. So I'm gonna leave it at that, and we'll have another table talk soon, and if anything changes, I'll let you know. Guys, I thank you so much for subscribing. Our numbers are still growing, both in views and subscriptions, and I appreciate it more than you can know. I'm again just trying to put out some information that you can use, and it's a way for me to be able to talk about the things that I like to do and the things that I love. So if you don't mind, if you haven't subscribed, if you would click the subscribe button and like and share, and I'll try to keep putting out these videos as I can. And I appreciate you being here, and God bless. This is James from Butler Farms, and I'll see you next time.